Station, this is Houston. Are you ready for the event?
Houston Station, I am ready for the event.
Houston Chronicle, this is Mission Control Houston. Please call station for a voice check.
Hello, can you hear me?
Houston Chronicle, this is ISS. I have you loud and clear.
Great. Okay. Thanks for taking the time this morning, Serena. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely, Alex. Happy to be here with you today.
Great. So you've had a pretty eventful trip to the space station. There's been a lot of things going on. How has it been being up there, kind of having to deal with these two pretty unprecedented events?
Yeah, Alex, definitely unprecedented, but up here, honestly, right now, it's pretty calm. There's the three of us, and our schedules are packed with science. So although, on the days these events occurred, things were very, very busy, and our training kicked in like it should have, now we are back to work and back to science as much as possible.
What has it been like to have fewer people on the space station with you guys?
Yeah, it's interesting. We talked about that almost immediately because we went from 6 down to 3, and I was used to having two other Americans up here, and we were busy all the time. All the modules were busy. We have several comm loops that we talk to Houston on the ground, and those comm loops were clobbered all the time because we were all trying to talk to investigators and to mission control to get our work done. And all of a sudden, it just got very calm all at once. Mm-hmm. So while we missed those guys, we know their families missed them more. But it definitely was a change.
Mm-hmm. Has it impacted your guys' schedule at all?
Not too much. We only see our schedule a few days out at a time, and so every day when I look at my schedule in particular, it's absolutely packed with science. So actually yesterday, Alex and I were helping to install a new life sciences rack in our Japanese module, and he's continuing with that today. And then tomorrow and Friday, I'm working on a bunch of plant harvests that we'll be doing for 2 types of plants that we're actually growing on board ISS right now.
What was it like seeing, because I saw Alex's picture of when the abort happened. What was it like being up there and seeing that? Obviously, you certainly weren't expecting it.
Yeah, we definitely weren't expecting it. We were all watching from the cupola as a crew, and we actually saw the vehicle come up initially through the atmosphere. And then we quickly got a call from Houston letting us know that, hey, the crew was fine, but this occurred. And like you said, it was unprecedented, and so for us, we were expecting to see our friends up here, but our minds kind of quickly turned to, hey, are these guys going to be safe? Are they going to be back with their families? And sure enough, the Soyuz performed exactly as expected. The launch abort system worked, and it saved the life of the crew. So when we knew that, and we knew they had landed safely in Kazakhstan, we were very, very happy for them. Sure, we would love to see them up here, but more important, they were safe on the ground.
So are you, what kind of communication have you been getting from, I guess, both NASA and Russia about what, the future looks like for you guys up there? I know there's been some talks about, perhaps you'll have to stay longer, which I'm sure you're very bummed about. But, I mean, have they been keeping you in the loop? What have you been hearing?
Now, we probably hear just as much as you hear, surprisingly. We are waiting for Russia and Roscosmos to complete their investigation and to get a report as to why they think the vehicle had problems on launch. Other than that, before you launch, you sort of prepare yourself as a crew for all kinds of situations. The situation that you may have to stay longer, may stay shorter, you never know. And so kind of in our minds, even prior to flight, we're ready for those dynamic changes. But, we are still waiting to hear from Roscosmos about the outcome of the failure investigation, and then we already are looking forward to the next cruise launching up here. We know that flying in space is hard, period. even for two countries that have been doing it as long as we have. But based on that, we learn how to perform investigations well, and we've got a great partnership with Roscosmos, and so we've learned to trust their investigations also. And so based off of that, we're looking forward to seeing another crew up here soon. Don't know when that will be, but hoping soon. But you know, we keep on keeping on up here. That's all we can do.
Mm-hmm. Do you feel confident in NASA and Russia's ability to kind of sort the situation out? You know, it's two things happening basically back to back, and I think some people down here are a little concerned that, you know, perhaps things aren't being checked as appropriately as they should, and that there are some things to worry about, I guess.
Yeah, I can understand that concern down there on the ground. And, you know, the interesting thing is when you train on board for ISS systems and also the Soyuz vehicle as long as we have, I mean, we're in training for 2 to 2.5 years prior to flight, you learn about how beautifully redundant all these systems are, not only on board the ISS, but on board the Soyuz. So we were well aware of launch abort systems and how it could save the life of the crew in case of something like that. We've trained to fix holes in case we do have a leak on board the International Space Station. So for us, you know, when we're in training, we practice like we play. We pretend it is real, and so on the day, for example, the depress occurred, it was very, very calm up here, and we even made note that as the crew was running through those procedures, we sat in exactly the same positions as we did in training. So there's no concern really up here. We know spaceflight is a very difficult business, and things do happen. But we rely on each other's countries to talk back and forth and make sure they're both satisfied with the outcome of the investigation so that it doesn't happen again.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely, Alex. Thanks for joining us on board ISS. Have a happy Halloween.
You too.
Station, this is Houston ACR. That concludes the event.
Thank you, Serena and Houston Chronicle. Station, please stand by while we reconfigure audio communications.